KLR 650S hot rod. That is amazing. I love it. I love it. Wow. So yeah. This is a Kawasaki KLR 650 S. S is the lowered version. It's got the 648 or 652 cc dual overhead cam, single cylinder. Puts out about 35 to 40 horsepower, depending on who you ask. About 39 foot-pounds of torque. It's about 52, 53 newton meters. 5-speed transmission. It's liquid cooled. It's a good looking motorcycle. So it's got a 21-inch front tire, 90-90-21, just like that on the Himalayan. Just an absolutely amazing bike. 300 millimeter disc on the front with a dual pot caliper. Absolutely cool. 41-inch or 41 millimeter forks. I think the front ones are 6.7 inches of travel. That's about 170 millimeters. The rear is a unishock, or whatever they call it, the monoshock version of whatever the Kawasaki calls it. And this bike has a 7-inch rear travel about, that's 178 millimeters. And the rear brake is a 240 millimeter single pot right there in this. And oh, that's a dual pot. My information is wrong. That looks like a dual pot. Y'all tell me if it's true. I got that wrong, but that's what it looks like. The bike weighs, wet is supposed to weigh about 460 pounds, which is really good. That's about 209 kilograms. That's absolutely amazing. It looks like such a large motorcycle, as well as such a large fuel tank, about 6 gallons, 6.1 gallons, it's 23 liters. And of course it's got this fairing on there, this great protection, by the way, and this will raise up quite a ways. We were looking at that. Apparently you can raise this up. It looks like probably a good 3 or 4 inches at least, maybe more. Looks like all LED lighting.
Yeah, it's all LED.
By the way, the compression ratio on the engine is 9.8 to 1, which means you should be able to use regular pump gas.
It does.
The seat height is 32.1 inches. That's 815 millimeters. So this bike actually has a taller seat right now, because I've got the tall seat on my Himalayan. But isn't that just amazing? Other information, 60.6 inches of wheelbase. And you could really tell it. I just took this thing for a spin. I could really tell it. 1,539 millimeters, I believe. And ground clearance is 7.3 inches. It looks a lot more than that. I'm having a hard time believing that number. I wonder if I got the wrong number. That's 185 millimeters. It looks more than that. I'm supposed to have about 8.5 inches. And I guess maybe mine does have a little more, but it looks like a lot more than 7.3. Has a 12-month warranty new. You can get up to 36 if you want to pay for it. This is called Candy Lime Green, the color. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous bike. Let's kind of do a walkthrough on it. So it's got, you can tell a KLR from wherever. It's got that KLR look. But just look at that. It's a street-going dirt bike is really what it is. This is a real ADV bike. When a lot of people have those big, fancy, expensive ADVs, this is a real ADV, I believe. It's got the link suspension on the bottom. This is a bike you'll actually drive in the rough and tough. And it's also lighter than a lot of the bigger ones. And this will go anywhere. I got a friend, LJ. He and his wife have a pair of these, and they just got back from Mexico, I think, a couple days ago. They went all down through Mexico, I think down to Guatemala and back. And of course, no trouble at all. No trouble with the motorcycles anyway. But what a good looking motorcycle, huh? So this just came, you just got this today, right? Hand guards, this fairing, of course, nice bash plate on the bottom. It's got a plate here. He's thinking about getting a box for it. They make a box for it that locks. But just look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Chain drive on the rear. I think you can get a center stand for it also, if he decides he wants one. But look at the size of that foot. You know, right from the factory, just a gigantic foot. I had to add one to mine, but I just love it. I love that beak on the front there. Isn't that just beautiful? And this graphic is really neat. It's simple, but it's just, I like it. A little hip protector there. Falls on its side, you can replace that instead of having to replace everything else. Gorgeous. Stamped steel pedals. Water pump. Let's see what else we got here. That bends right there, so if you hit it, it won't break. I love it. I love it. Bar ends. Let's look at the gear here. High lows, blinker, horn, kill switch over here, starter. Turning this on, there's the dash. It's got a little bit of everything. Fuel gauge, clock, speedometer, miles per hour, or odometer. I'm assuming it has trip meters, A and Bs, and things like that. Now, if you look right here, when you turn it back on, looks like maybe a heat gauge and a battery gauge. I didn't watch to see what that did when the bike was running, but isn't that neat? Just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love it. Going back here, there's a little tool area in here and a little pouch you can keep stuff. I'm not sure how the seat comes off. He does have a battery tender on this one. I like it. Look at that. Doesn't that just look mean? It's got a radiator guard on it already. That is a big radiator. Look at that. Wow. Very good. Absolutely gorgeous motorcycle. Hey, I'm Fuzzy Biker, and as of today, I have driven a Kawasaki KLR. Wahoo! Get out there and ride, my friends.